Hello and welcome back to the Halo World Championships, and we're into the elimination bracket now, getting to the business end of the tournament, sending teams home, and we've got a hell of a series in our hands here, Dan.
That we do. I mean, we're going to see a team finally going home.
Yeah.
It's going to be the first team sent home on this stream, which is going to be, I guess, disappointing for one, but very exciting for another. G2 versus Oxygen Esports. We saw an amazing run from Oxygen back in Orlando, but is G2 going to be too much of a task here?
Yeah, and I guess the story that we could lay down here is G2. Is there any hangovers from that Sentinel series? They got beaten pretty handedly. And Oxygen is a team that they are expected to beat. And on the other side of things, Oxygen, like you speak about, they had that hellacious run in Orlando. Can they match that feat, or can they go one better? Because G2 are the sorts of teams you have to start beating to be taken seriously here.
And I know I always look at a series layout and I say, oh, well, that could be good for X team and Y team.
That is
well,
how you
you've got
sound.
an X and a Y in Oxygen. And I do think that King of the Hill, Li-Fi, Slayer, Catalyst, that's a pretty good start for them when you look at how they perform and maybe what you can try and steal away from a higher seed. I love what you say, though, about the hangover from G2 with Sentinels. Like, are they a little bit frustrated with how they were kind of bossed around? They were kind of put to the test in a way that maybe they weren't expecting. Maybe they thought they could have put up more of a fight against Sentinels. But now you're going up against someone more on your playing field, but at the same time, you are now the favorites. Right, and it's a very different approach to a game when you are the favorites. You've got those expectations, you've got extra pressure, maybe you're a little bit more nervous. G2 are expected to win this series. G2 are expected to get minimum top 8, if not top 6. And it would be a massive world's disappointment if G2 were to fall here.
And we did talk about the story of Orlando and how they feel like they had a favorable bracket, and it was a top 6, but it didn't feel like a well-earned top 6. They beat some of the teams, like we say, they were expected to beat. And for Oxygen, they had a run. Things didn't come easy for them. So they're well and truly used to being in the trenches and earning every single yard they get. They go hard in the paint. And this is going to be a tough test for G2.
Yeah, no one can kind of talk about brackets if G2 replicate their finish of top 6 here at Worlds. And even G2 themselves said they had a comfortable bracket. So I don't think anyone's going to be annoyed by us saying that or other people saying it. But now it's about knuckling down here in game number 1. Li-Fi, a very difficult map to navigate if you are going up against a team who know exactly where to be and when to be. We'll see whether Oxygen can continue their form from Orlando and maybe cause a little bit of a ruckus in this elimination bracket.
G2 then. This one's for top 8. And who can question it if they get the job done here? But Oxygen Esports, they stand in their way. Will they be a pushover, or will they prove to be too much to handle, too hot to handle here? We're underway. And at the end of this series, someone is going home. Barcode, the pride and joy of the ANZ region, he falls.
It's the usual suspects on the side of G2. You're going to be looking at Barcode, you're going to be looking at Gilkey, as picking up the damage, getting those kills. On the other side for Oxygen, Collect has got so much hype around him. A late addition to this Oxygen roster just before Orlando, and I mean just before Orlando, merely days. And he really has shown what he's made of. He did grenade himself there, but somehow didn't take any damage. Very impressive. And now he's got the sniper rifle. Let's see what he can do with it.
Can he get surgical? Can he make some incisions? Or will it be a little bit more barbaric? We're about to find out. Sab could be the victim. Shield popped. Almost gets away. Boom gets him though. Will not be sneaking away in any kind of hurry. 2 dead for G2. Good start for Oxygen Esports. Spawns come up over towards that overshield. Sandbags is where the sniper rifle eyes of Collect, looking through that scope, one eye squinted, waiting to see if any pixels do emerge. Not this time. Sabinator, he's coming through bottom middle. Gilkey heading over the top of C-Plat. And have Oxygen Esports been keeping tabs on them players that have they been allowed to run free. 3 dead. The tabs have been left open. But I tell you something, the sound was down.
Finally, G2 will break through. Oxygen, 1 remaining player. And Nemesis knows he has to back off, wait for spawners. It's going to be on dummies. There could be a lot of time scored here from G2 if they can get a set of slays. Actually, I think 1 set of slays might secure them the first point. But you've always got that tricky situation now, because Overshield is coming up. Can you sacrifice it? Are you willing to? 2 players go down on G2. Oxygen are focusing on that Overshield. So G2 holding strong, saying maybe we can just eke out enough time, but it looks like the Oxygen push is about to arrive.
In the shape and form of BoMX, you can see him lighting up white. And Oxygen Esports are lighting up the kill feed. 2 go down, G2. Barcode and Sab watching the teammates on, rooting them on from the respawn screen. Bomex utilizing that overshield, getting a lot of value from it, taking a lot of damage, but dealing a lot of damage, importantly. Gets one. Gilkey could be the latest victim. Slides out with the needler. Gilkey's locking on. Gilkey's tracking. And he gets the pick. But the first hill, it's going to be Oxygen who break the deadlock.
It's a brilliant start from Oxygen. I think they'll be delighted that they know now they can contest G2. It's always a big question, I think, when you are a lower seeded team and you come into this first game. Are we going to get run through? Or do we genuinely have a chance here? And all it takes sometimes is that first point on the board or just a few kills going your way. And I tell you what, we may just have a series on our hands here, shows, because Oxygen look very explosive out of the blocks.
Bohm has been one of those players who has been a little bit explosive. 6 kills, 2 deaths. No assists just yet, but it doesn't matter when you're putting them in the grave like he is right now. Tries to line up Gilkey, tries to pop his shields. Can't do so, but Nemesis is there to clean up the pieces. Damage is done. Enough there. G2 Esports have claimed a lot of this C hill. It's about trying to evict them here. Gilkey was in the respawn screen, so numbers advantage for a moment favourite Oxygen, but now we're a little bit 4v4, a little bit tit for tat at the moment. Barcode down to no shield, gets taken out, but it's a trade. 3 dead for Oxygen. That push, 4 dead for Oxygen. G2 holds strong, and they're in the driving seat to tie this game up.
Great prioritization there from G2 Esports. They all targeted the same player at the right time. Oxygen, they tried as they might to get behind enemy lines, but it seemed like there was always a battle rifle staring at them. Now Gilkey's in a position, or was in a position, to try and defend this overshield. Straight Six got it. And now Straight Six can look to really put this to G2's advantage.
Can he put Oxygen to the test? The answer is yes. Double kill. Unbelievable value out of that overshield. So oftentimes you can see it go by the wayside, get absolutely fried. Plasma pistol hits it. Not this time. Straight Six puts it to use. And the tax for Oxygen, the price they had to pay with their lives. G2 Esports all of a sudden starting to grow in confidence, starting to dictate the game now, starting to settle into their roles. They felt Oxygen out. They've worked out the puzzle, but it looks things so far. 3 dead once more for Oxygen. Bohm's gonna have to slow things down and just wait for his teammates to spawn up. They may have to give this one up and set up for new. All players all towards back tower. This one's gonna go in favor of G2. They take the lead after a wobbly start.
Yeah, G2 were well aware that that was going to be their hill. That's why they started to get more aggressive. That's why they started to push up. Great shots from Straight Sick. We'll have support from Barcode now as well. It's a 2 versus 3 though, so you do have to be careful. And unfortunately, because Oxygen very much prepared for this hill, they were in better positions. This is one of those hills that can get very scrappy. It's very nade heavy, easy to bank it off several different angles. So when you are in that hill, you have to be aware. A repulsor can really help to try and protect you. But obviously, you're always going to be looking at every single direction, just trying to stay alive.
Great sandbox control out of G2. Overshield, sniper rifles, and now the heat wave in the hand of Straight Sick. He's on a run here. Scoreboard, point of contention. Bomex gets taken care of. Assault rifle making this a little bit of a tricky angle for him, but he does finally connect with Collect. It was a little bit of a tricky customer. Triton currently sitting on 5-4 and 12. Having a slower game by his high standards, but looking to pick things up here. Gets a trade, that'll help him. But it will add just a 1 to both columns, kills and deaths. 4 lovely shots from Gilkey. Lighten up. Starting to cook in our G2. And made real inroads into this 4th hill. Some serious progress now, and Oxygen Esports have their work cut out for them. Gilkey getting shot from scoreboard. Comes back for more, bit off more than he chew. Yes, he did. But 3-1 now the score. G2 have another overshield. Straight Sick. Sitting on 13 kills. He's having a game to remember right now.
Such a good response from G2 as well. Considering the first point went in favor of Oxygen, it's kind of fight or flight mode for that when G2 witness it happening, because it's, do you actually get aggressive? Do you try and push and try and assert your dominance, or do you end up just kind of rolling over and showing your belly a little bit? But G2, they said, look, we know we're the better team. We know we're the higher seed. Let's show and prove why. And it just kind of took working together a little bit more, making sure they were pushing those advantages when they had the extra player.
It hasn't looked too difficult for G2 ever since they gave up that first hill. They've been winning the hills by a large margin. Hasn't been close. They've really started to control the sandbox. And there's a reason why they're reaping the rewards here. Oh, Barcode! I see a fella. Shot across the bow, top middle. This one connects to the dome. And if he starts heating up, if he starts firing, Oxygen Esports, who are already in trouble, could find themselves down in the series. Barcode sniper rifle trained over towards Green. Nemesis evades the first shot. Getting tagged up though, not going to live for long. No Sabinator clambering up top tower. Barcode leaves him to his devices. Puts the confidence in him that he's no longer needed. Barcode getting shot up from two different directions. Wisely backs away. Good from him. Great game management, recognizing he's an important player on the team right now, important player on the map. Nemesis will back Barcode down even further here. Overshield in 5. This is why it was so vital for Barcode to live during them moments, because he's going to help his team secure this overshield. Triton over towards top sandbags is going to try and stop them getting it easily. Collect drops down, but it's only to his death. And Barcode, over the space of a minute or two, has been instrumental in securing the overshield. But just like that, Triton gets a pick. And did he get it in time onto Sab? Can we switch over to Triton and see if he got the overshield? Yes, indeed he did. And perhaps an opportunity for Triton and indeed Oxygen Esports to climb back into this.
Yeah, they're going to have to fight over towards the tower side now. Gilkey's already there. Boam should be able to clean it up. Unfortunately, doesn't have the angle at the moment. It's great positioning from Boam because he's going to be watching over towards that new hill. If Oxygen can get this hill within the next 30 seconds or so, still a real chance of getting back into this game. But G2 inevitably are going to play Slayer, are going to try and keep them out of the hill. It is the hardest hill to secure on this map, and we may just end up at 3-1 if Oxygen don't have a good period of play here.
Things are going well in the last couple of moments. Kills in their favor. Collect picks up the pieces from that damage Bowen put down. Sniper rifle now, top middle. No doubt the player in the hill is going to scoop that up and probably toss it to a teammate if he has the opportunity. You hear shots getting fired top middle. Triton does secure the second hill. And all of a sudden we have a game on our hands once more, Dan.
Yeah, this is exactly what you needed from Oxygen. If they had let that one slip, if they had kind of let too many kills go in favor of G2, then this probably was game over. G2 did set up for the next hill though. That means they are keeping this clock at 117. They want to win this 4-2. They're not going to allow this to just be played time now. You could have done so at top middle. It's far more risky at this point. Triton misses the shot, and unfortunately, if he had connected, it would have been a very, very different game.
Well, G2 are connecting with the hill, but Oxygen have cleared out the riffraff for now. And Collect, along with Nemesis, control Green. Bowman and Triton over towards tower, putting down shots, perhaps trying to stop the overshield from being an easy grab. Will Oxygen sacrifice the overshield to secure this hill? It looks as though the play is coming. The communication has arrived. We're going to make plays to the overshield. Straight Sick just anchoring the play, gets the trade. Trying to be overlooked for the overshield. Barcode steps on top. Can he get it into his chest? Yes, he can. How pivotal can that be? Sabinator picks up 2. Nemesis, the last man standing, but they are getting green spawns thanks to Sab.
G2 learning their lesson from that first hill, really. They didn't prioritize the overshield then. They changed their mind here in this final hill. I think they knew it was Oxygen's win condition, really. 3 versus 3. Sab's still alive, milking as best as he can in the toilet. It doesn't sound fun, but you never know. You can do it wherever you want.
Milk in the toilet.
3-2. Could be 4-2. But there is a contest.
Still goes on for now, though. Triton, Nemesis, try as they might to stop this being a game that goes by the wayside. But it's G2 who only require a slender piece of time in this hill. 58 seconds on the clock. You'd imagine the hill will go in one team or another's favour, and then Straight Stick goes down. That's the opening pick. Collect is backing away here down to half shields, and perhaps he needs to stay in the fight. He comes back for more now. Gilkey taking down the no shield, taken out of the fight. 4 dead apiece, but it's Oxygen Esports for Collect, and he's stepped inside. And he's got exactly what he needs here. Can he extract as much time as he possibly can here? Can he stay alive? Making this a really difficult task. He has done. It's 3-3. We're all tied up.
Unbelievable that Oxygen have just been able to allow to do that. G2 Esports had the game in their hands. It was there for them. But now they're going to have to fight tooth and nail in this final hill to try and make sure they don't throw away what was, at one point, a very comfortable lead. They were up 3-1. There was only a minute and 30 left on the clock. G2 scoring once more. Oxygen still have 3 players on the map. G2 the same on their side. A big battle down at the bottom of tower. Barcode will fall. Nemesis gets that final kill. And with the overshield popping in 5, this could really define the game.
Can Oxygen batten down the hatches here, whilst also securing the overshield? Gilkey and Barcode are coming over the top towards Nest. This is a very close game.
Wow.
The next mistake could be the difference as Oxygen, and indeed Triton, ascends up top tower and gets the kill. But will that be enough? They've got the overshield. Plasma pistol hits the wrong player. It lands And it does not connect with Collect. And they're back into the hill. Sniper rifle firing shots left and right, but they're not hitting the target. 9 seconds remain here. No player from either team in the hill at the moment.
He missed the hill once, he missed the jump on the second time, but with 1 second left, someone's going to jump in. And now we go into overtime. Next point wins. 2 minutes added onto that clock. And it means you can afford to be a little bit more patient. G2 have control once more. Collect, Triton, down over towards green. Want to try and reposition, and that's why we're seeing a flank now from Collect. That's more than a flank. That's up and over and into the back.
Up over the top, using the lob wedges, Collect. And he connects with one, maybe making amends for the mistake he made earlier. Gets himself out of dodge and out of the line of sight, comes back for more. Collect. Can he be the difference maker here? 2 huge kills, but it's still advantage G2 here.
Great passage of play from Collect, but is it going to be enough? Because G2 still scoring. G2 still holding, 3 versus 3 on the map. Triton, a lot of responsibility in his hands with a heat wave. Connects with the first, doesn't quite with the second. And that could be pivotal, that could be game defining really. Sab now gets another 3 are dead for Oxygen Esports. And Barcode is just hunting for this last remaining player. Where are you, Boan? There you are, take you down. And maybe Oxygen have thrown everything at this, but is it gonna be enough?
Oxygen are sinking here. There's water in the lungs. Can't catch their breath. And it's G2 Esports who do secure that final hill and will go 1 game to the good here. They take the series lead.
Something in their lungs, can't catch their breath. I know how they feel. It's a tough time out here in Seattle.
It's not Ash.
But wow, what a game 1 we've just had. It looked like G2 were cruising, 3-1 up, cruising for a bruising, some might say, waiting for the top middle hill just to expire. And then suddenly Oxygen push in, they managed to make it 3-3 in those final moments.
Can you show the people what you did when you were off camera, when you done the cruising for the bruising?
I think I went cruising for a bruising.
Cruising for a bruising, that's what you did, yeah.
Just my gangly arms went all over the place.
There was some gangles.
It wasn't really meant for camera, but
you're like one of those car sales things that are outside, they're doing a
yeah.
That's what you're looking like, yeah. But so one team that wasn't looking like that was G2. Now, they did take their foot off the gas, they did get a little bit complacent, and it almost caught them. It was almost a downfall.
Yeah, I think that G2, it's tough in these King of the Hill games when you are ahead by 2, because you think you can just play the clock a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're reluctant to step in the hill, and sometimes that's just not how people play the game. They're not used to setting up around the hill and keeping people out of it, because they're used to getting the kills, getting in the hill, and then setting up for the hill. So it can be really a struggle bus when you start to have to play that way. But G2, they still managed to kind of reel it back in, despite throwing away a 2-point advantage. Frustrating though for Oxygen.
It has to be said as well, for G2, they were up by 3-1. We've seen a lot of teams with a minute or so on the clock. There seemed to be a minute on that clock for an eternity. We've seen a lot of teams have success when they do opt to play Slayer, they do opt to run that clock down, but credit has to be given to Oxygen Esports for hanging on in there and making it a real difficult task.
Well, game 2, we go into Slayer Catalyst. This is what I was suggesting might be Oxygen's best opportunity to take down G2, but after seeing King of the Hill live fire, I think that every map could be close between these 2 teams, and perhaps the tier and difference between Oxygen and G2 is not that great, especially not as great as it was between G2 and Sentinels, for example, where there was a clear difference in class. But Slayer Catalyst can be a difficult game to navigate against the best of teams. If you can get a 5 to 6 kill lead right at the start of the game, you can hold on to it if you play properly. But we'll see whether either of these teams can control the map in that way.
And we spoke about a hangover from the Sentinel series. And in the early stages, all the way up to the mid-game, it didn't look like that was going to be the case. But then all of a sudden, it was Oxygen Esports who took control. And they had control for a long time. And they can't afford to allow that to happen here in Catalyst Slayer, or this series will be all tied up. Collect, really impressive in that last game. He had some big moments. He had a couple of moments with the overshield where it didn't go his way, but he was always trying to be an influence.
What a crazy year it's been for Collect as well. I mean, just the constant shifts in teams. It seems like he's been on every roster at this point. Didn't even think he'd be at the World Championships, but then he is here. He's already guaranteed top 12. And he really was one of the key reasons as to why Oxygen did what they did in Orlando, but he's not the only one who has to step up. This whole and entire Oxygen roster now need to prove their worth. And if they can do it here in Catalyst Slayer and tie this series up, then their chances of World Championships are still alive.
Into the start then. Nemesis and Bone go down. 2-1 the score. Decent start, not a perfect start. They have got a couple of goodies to work with, but Straight Stick getting tagged in the back. Triton like a mosquito opts to drop off the map. Rather than get the final shots from Barcode's battle rifle, he decided that the gravity was going to kill him rather than anybody else.
I was going to say, what kind of analogy are we going for a mosquito here?
Yeah.
I was waiting for it, but it arrived, so you're okay?
Barcode. Skewer. Looking to maybe put some shrimps on the Barbie. Barcode now swinging. In he goes. Didgeridoo. Bomex. He gets taken care of. Gilkey. He'll pick up the remnants of what's left in that skewer. Faced with one. Handled. And away he goes into the night. Teammate Straight Stick in front of him. Bunched up here like a pack of bananas. I'm full of it. You keep waiting now. They'll keep coming. Gilkey.
There were so many references in those last 20 seconds.
That's all I do. You're only realizing this now.
I couldn't keep up. Anyway, 10-8, 10-9. It's been a pretty nervy start between the two teams. Overshielder up again in 27 seconds. If you can kind of get the kills at the right time, if you can now get, 2 or 3 kills just 10 seconds prior to that overshield, you can almost guarantee it as yours because you're going to pin back that final member. It does seem like G2 on the back foot at the moment, kind of secluded in their base ever so slightly, and Oxygen are slowly but surely surrounding them. But now here comes the push on the other side. G2 want this overshield as well.
Stand off for a moment. Home. Putting down some warning shots, but not finding a home just yet. Sab has recognized that and has applied the pressure. Nemesis has the overshield. We're all tied up. Advantage now for the moment, at least in the numbers. It's going to be with Oxygen. Can they find the people that they need to? Communication is going to be so key in these next few moments. Let's go to an Astro. Listen in.
Dead end, yeah.
Live, get out. Fuck that.
Make sure we're doing the same thing on pushes.
Down by 3.
Skewer.
Skewer is coming up.
Gilkey's weak, let's start.
Yo, can we get the skewer,
I'm
guys?
helping K, I'm helping K.
I'm watching the flank.
Skewer in 5, yeah.
They went back.
Bottom sword. They're bottom sword. And in their flag. In their flag.
They're main ramp. Yeah, they're pushing high. Mando, you're Mando, guys. You're Mando.
I don't have nades for it.
I do.
I'm getting melted, dude. Holy fuck.
Top mid.
Oh, they might be sliding out on Kyle. Live.
They're main.
Skewer's up.
I hear one on our side, I think.
I don't. Time still go weak.
We gotta get this skewer, guys.
That is grapple on top.
One's low, grapple weak, straight stick.
And they have skewer,
they have it. Our skewer ramp sliding out, going our dead end.
Yeah, he's our dead end. He's jumping up on the.
No,
one's low, one's low.
One shot.
Nice. Behind you.
Love you.
Give him no.
On me.
Also there.
No, green gun.
I can shoot across.
By yourself, Boom.
One's behind you. Green gun weak.
Yeah, he's green on himself. There's two there.
Are they backing out?
No, one went back to.
Yeah, they did back up.
Yeah, I guess that
Two.
One is still green gun. One is still there. He's just sitting.
Okay, I'm with you. Okay, you James, you're alone. Top mid, weak.
Second corners. Nothing.
OS
side,
at 10,
top
guys.
Who's watching their Mando?
They're gonna have grapple for it. OS.
Shot the spikes. It's just me and you.
Grapple just came up.
Okay, they might
Don't
come
let them
on
grapple
our
it from top mid or something.
What's on grapple?
Honestly.
side. Your side, above you, K.
Love you, K.
Hey,
He dropped. Nice. Live. Watch OS.
Top skewer.
Communication on point. They have just lost the lead, and G2 have just started to step away from them here.
Whoop, hip.
Triton, hello, Scooby-Doo, up you get. Stop that messing. Barcode gets tagged up a little bit. Straight Stick, great awareness. Instead of Triton to get that kill, Barcode steps out once more, picks up 2. They'll take that trade all day long. Nemesis had remnants of an overshield, gets a double kill. Better from them. 2 kills the difference now. 3 dead for G2.
Love Nemesis as a player all season long. He's impressed me event in, event out. I do think that we are witnessing some players who are just going to consistently improve event after event, and heading into HGS Season 2 here in Halo Infinite, I would not be surprised if all 4 members on this Oxygen roster are starting to get closer to top 6, if not top 4. Whether that's as this 4 or whether they, end up on different teams, who knows what's going to happen as we move on further into Halo Infinite, but all 4 of them have just got better and better in front of our very eyes.
The Oxygen boys certainly turning heads. Now they would love to turn this series around. It all starts here. Gilkey. He steps out. Nemesis tried to step away, but Barcode ensured that was not going to be an eventuality for him. Collect. Down to 3/4 shield. That player just evades his attentions and expertly done with the bait and switch. Straight stick on hand. Boom. Up on the landing. Up in the attic. Can they clear him out? BoMX gets pushed against the wall. Swatted like a fly. Down go 2, down go 3. They're falling everywhere here. 3 kills the difference. G2 have kept themselves in the lead here. It's gone from 6 down to 3 now, and perhaps an opportunity for Oxygen to get back into this thing here, but BoMX ensures it's going to be a tougher task.
Oxygen nading themselves at the moment. Teammates just throwing nades as a precaution. Barcode flies in, but gets quickly deleted by Triton there. Very impressive commando play. If you put the commando in the right hands, it's a terrifying weapon to go up against. Tell you what, an overshield helps though, but Gilkey just about clings on and will get the double kill. Barcode follows up, so 3 are dead for Oxygen. And suddenly that 3-kill lead that you speak of, it's become 7. And that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes with Catalyst Slayer. You can be very close to your opposition team, but all it takes is a couple of sets of slays and you are very far behind indeed.
Overshield helped the cause. And that's been the tale of the tape so far. Controlling the power weapons. We harp on about it all the live long day till the cows come home, but nobody understands this more than the 8 players on the screen right now. It's easy to say, less so to put into practice. Game slowed down as Catalyst Slayer often does. Commando in the hand of Barcode. As he rubbed some war paint in the eyes today, the bounce back from that Sentinel's loss put some things right here. Just starting to pull away again. 7 kills remain the difference.
It really has become very strategical between these two, trying to dissect each other, trying to expose those weaknesses, kind of bounding up together in teams of 3, teams of 4 even. We've seen just everyone huddling in a corner, hoping that someone's going to walk round, you ambush them, you stick them up against the wall and say, give us your wallet. But unfortunately, every single time that G2 do walk round a corner, it's not just one player. They're doing exactly the same thing as Oxygen are. They are holding hands here or there. So it's a constant scrap. But they are very isolated fights at the moment. We're not getting as much across map fights that we're witnessing right now. This is very rare. We haven't seen them really at all in this game.
Just have this terrible image of being robbed and my wallet being stolen by 2 people holding hands, and it's one that will haunt my dreams. Overshield has popped up. Straight stick over towards those Spiker nades. Eyes on the prize then. Trying to back Oxygen down. Nemesis has been exposed. He's all by himself, isolated. BoMX back down as well. And it's G2 getting the better of this one here. And they have gotten the overshield. And could that spell doom and demise for the boys on Oxygen?
An 8-kill advantage. Barcode now is going to be fearless, walking into enemy lines, but not stupid. And I love that. So many players would just wander on in with an overshield because they have the extra shields, but no, he's waiting for the bait. The trap has been set, and now Barcode will fly in. He should be able to get 2. Can he make it 3? His ammo might run out, and unfortunately, Nemesis will get the kill, but Barcode, has he already done enough damage?
6 kills required, 10 kill advantage, double kill for Gilkey. They're rolling, they're moving. It was close to start, less so as the game has developed. They've controlled it for a very long time now. 2 go down once more. And they're employing that buddy system once more. Nemesis, though, wise with this time, but the trade will come. That's all they need. Well, that as well as 3 kills. Collect. Can he stop that? Can he punch a hole here with this skewer? If he can handle a vehicle. He can handle Sabinator. He does connect. 7 kill difference then. Not out of the realms of possibility just yet.
Collect. Far too aggressive for my liking. We'll go down 48 to 41 now. And G2 looking to clean this up. One last piece of the puzzle. One more kill to make this 2-0 in this best of 5. And there it is. Easy as you like. Fist bumps all round as it's business again for G2. It was business against them when Sentinels were playing them. But it seems like G2 far more comfortable in this series than what we saw earlier on.
And this is the conversation that we had when we talked about the teams in the Gulfs in class. Sentinels are just a tier above G2. G2 appeared to be just a class above Oxygen, and it's the way it goes, the way the cookie has been crumbling all season long, that there is a disparity between these teams, and Oxygen are desperately trying to reach up, but it's G2 trying to climb on and attach themselves to the teams above them. They're all trying to climb the ladder of chaos, but at the moment it's G2 who are managing just to keep Oxygen at bay.
That being said,
Say something else, one.
right,
Yeah, say it.
now hear me out.
I'm listening.
Series layouts, they've been a bit all over the place for some of these teams. We've got a big set of map pools, or a big map pool, should I say.
Yeah.
A lot of game types, a lot of maps to try and learn. We saw earlier, Cloud9 went 2-0 up against Native Red. The underdogs reverse sweep 3-2. Oxygen now going into Oddball Streets. Capture the Flag Aquarius, Slayer, Livefire, maybe we have some better game types for them, right? Scrim results would suggest that Oxygen might actually prefer this third game over some of the others. But as I mentioned to you earlier, Scrim results don't necessarily always tell us everything that we need to know. Am I stretching and just hoping that Oxygen make a series of this? Yes. Do I think that G2 are probably going to 3-0? Yes. But I hope I'm wrong, because I love this Oxygen roster, right? All four of these players, as I said, big fan of them all. But I think that G2 have shown that they've stepped up since Orlando.
Is Dan going to keep asking himself questions and then
Yes.
answering them? Yes. He certainly is. Doing my job for me, and listen, I'm getting paid either way. I don't mind too much.
You're getting paid?
I'll take it back. Oh, yeah, I suppose. 2-0 then, as we head into what could possibly be the final game of the series. Our Oxygen Esports going to leave the tournament on a whimper. Like we say, they had that run in Orlando, hoping to have a similar feat this time around. Reminder, this one is for top 8. And that's where Oxygen Esports would see themselves. That chair looks comfortable for them. But G2, they're standing in their way. Not only that, but they're stopping them in their tracks. Nemesis was the last man standing for a moment, but Gilkey's picked up the ball for his team. He's rotating back tower now. Keeping Oxygen Esports at arm's length here. It looks as though the play is going to be from the arcade side. Straight Sick, the only man heading up the pink side. He's going to be picked out here as he tries to defend a Bulldog, though that's going to do some damage. Reversal for Nemesis, big kill. Opportunity now for Oxygen Esports to crank up the pressure and break this setup. Gilkey on point though. Will the Bulldog do enough? Yes, it will. Barcode tries to cover the distance. Drops the shield wall, Sabonator on point. And although the first kill went against G2 Esports, they still have control.
Back to regular viewing now as Sab getting the ball rather than Gilkey. That's what we're used to seeing with this roster, but it was very short-lived. Oxygen came steaming on in. Bulldog in hand for Collect. And I do love watching his POV. Very quick and aggressive to get in the face of his opponents, always looking for more blood. He finds an extra drip. And that's whether he can stay alive, because once you get called out, once you get that first kill, that's when it gets hard.
At the moment, Collect has more kills than his 3 teammates combined. Needs the rest of the team to stand up here and be counted for, or they will be going home. G2 just in the ascendancy for the moment. Rocket's about to pop up. That could change the story. That could alter the narrative, at least for the moment. Nemesis gets a smack in the jaw, and that'll put him to sleep for now. Collect, front base, bobs and weaves, floating like a butterfly, trying to sting like the bee, and he does! And he does! Get some more of that on the go, and perhaps we will have a series on our hands. And it could start here. This could be the catalyst. Not catalyst, but the catalyst.
He's so good. Collect is so fantastic at this game. Second rocket was just a warning. He thought he had a third. Doesn't matter. Gets the BR out. And again, Gilkey is his next victim. 3 were dead. Collect looking for more. Looking to try and project Oxygen into a better position here in this ball game. And even though he has fallen, 9 kills on the board, Collect is doing everything he can, everything in his power for Oxygen Esports here.
Collect now matching the rest of his teammates' kills combined. They have 3 apiece. Triton has added 1 to the kill tally, as is Nemesis. That's better. This game is only separated by 2 seconds. Oxygen Esports keeping themselves in it. And for Barcode, how he wants to stop this series in this game. He does not want to go any further. Communication, so important as we head towards the mid-game. Let's have an Astro listen in with G2 Esports.
Yeah, B-rail. Yeah, he's one shot B-rail. Where's the red gun? I've got red gun, I've got red gun. I'm leaving T, I'm coming. There's a guy back A. 1 shot, dead. I can't. Yeah, Toes, I'm moving. He's one shot at me. Yeah, he's just dead. Yeah, moment. Yeah, come. Rockets, guys, rockets, yeah.
Halfway to
Pin.
victory.
Yeah. He's half shields. I'm holding P, man. Yeah, rockets. Yeah, rockets. There's guy top A on me, guys. One shot, damn. He's got shotgun. He's chowing. On the head glitch, has weapons. Nice, did it. This guy's still top A, last guy, Nam, has weapons, has all weapons. Yeah, I can, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I'm watching planners. Yeah, good. Yeah, okay. I'm watching mid, I'm watching ATM.
Well, I labelled it as an Astro listening. In actual fact, what it was a Barcode listening. And I could listen to him all the live long day. Singing to me like a lullaby. Speaking the language I like to listen to.
And as we speak of Barcode, I mean, we really have to commend what he's done. When you think of the ANZ region and how they used to, you know, if they were happy if they won a series when it came to World Championships majors, and now Barcode, a part of his G2 roster, fighting for a top 8 position. He got top 6 at the major as well. And I'm very excited to see Barcode's career and just how far he can go with G2. And they've got to go further in this series. They do find themselves behind now. Oxygen up by 7.
Off the back of some great work from Collect. But it's Triton who's taken up the mantle of holding the ball for his team. 54 seconds to be exact. Gets the kill. Can he get 2? Yes, he can. That's better from Triton. Collect then. Putting shots down. Gets another kill, as he so often does. Exterminating everything that moves at the moment. 65 seconds. Ball down though this time. Collect giving it up. Using it as bait. It's on the end of a rod. Will Gilkey and co. Bite. Slays are going. Shields are down. Bomex will get 1. Sab could be going 2. Yes, he does. 2v2 on the map now. Rocket's about to pop up in 3 seconds or less. Bomex down to very little shields, but somehow his teammate keeps him alive. Rockets are up. Nemesis not looking to touch them just yet, trying to stay alive with the Bulldog. Has overstepped the mark just a touch and pays the price because of it. Ball though in the hands of Bomex, and they're starting to stretch out this lead now. Gilkey with the plasma rifle will put down shots, but not enough as Collect hits some beauties.
Collect again, just absolutely destroying everything in his path. I remember back in Orlando when Oxygen beat Na'Vi, Na'Vi said, Collect just went nuts, man. Like, when he plays in this way, it's so difficult to do anything, but 95 points on the board. Oxygen looking like they might just be able to take round 1, will take round 1. And they put their best foot forward here for trying to take a map off G2, trying to keep not just this series alive, but their tournament hopes alive.
Elimination.
That was good. More of that would be better. They managed to shut down Gilkey, shut down Barcode. Outslayed G2 Esports in round number 1. Can they keep up that pressure? Or will they run out of stamina here? Can they maintain it? Straight stick back tram. Staying alive for now. Nemesis. I see rockets in the back pocket. 1 in the chambers. Fires 1 towards Sab. Didn't do the damage it required, and he recognized that. Tried to get away. Tried to escape. Unsuccessful. Bulldog's going to result in a trade. Double kill though. As Bomex, who has ball in hand, looking to match his teammates' ball carrying time right now and about to take the lead in that regard. As he now tips over the 55-second mark. 10-second lead advantage. They have lost a teammate though. Gilkey over the top ropes with a Bulldog. That's not a finisher move, not yet anyway. Collect back tower goes down. 3 dead for Oxygen. Straight stick has ball. Had to step out a little further than he would have wanted to. Getting shot in the back now. Favorable spawns for Oxygen Esports.
Oxygen do look far more comfortable on this map and mode than they have done for any of the others in the series so far. Collect finds a Barcode looking the wrong way. And as they try and pin G2 back once more into the tram, if they can get some big grenades, if they can get the opening kill here, that ball is in the perfect position for them to grab instead of again. Gilkey gets smacked in the jaw, as you might say. Collect still doing damage with the Bulldog from an insane distance. He is now on 24 kills.
He's the soul collector. Barcode across the way. Feeling the wrath of Collect once more. Battle rifle shots will take his shields away. Like white spirits taking paint off. Collect is not playing around here in game 3. Is not looking to go home like that, but 3 go down. Bomex. Weapons being passed around for Straight Sick and co. Bomex alive in tires with the Bulldog, but not in a position to do damage. He sent one Bulldog shot out of tires. It was enough for Straight Sick to spin in a swivel and eliminate him.
That's both players who were in tires with a Bulldog. Maybe being too aggressive with their angle and being too predictable that G2 were able to just kind of jump up and get that final shot with the battle rifle. So great kind of map awareness from G2 there, and unfortunately just being too predictable on the side of Oxygen. G2 now have a little bit of a lead to work with here. 2 members have gone down on Oxygen, so G2 have the player advantage, make it 2. If Triton goes down, this could be a lot of time gathered for G2.
And it's a similar story to how the series is played out. Oxygen Esports having a good start in these games, but G2 finally work it out towards the mid-game. Are we seeing a similar story play out in front of our very eyes here? They have lost 2 members, but Straight Sick's been a thorn in the side. Will get 1, can he get 2? Yes, he can with the help of a teammate. Barcode locks in 2. He will die in the process, but the work he put in to keep his teammate Straight Sick alive there cannot be understated.
That was nuts. Straight Sick's going to be probably fist bumping Barcode mid-game right now because he very much kept him alive, but great teamwork, great bait from Straight Sick with the angle he took. But I think you're right, with teams kind of learning what their oppositions do, I think that is the biggest difference we see from your lower seeded teams to your higher seeded teams, is they can come back into games because they do recognize what the other teams are actually doing and how they're playing, and then they really do find a way how to counter it, and we're seeing that right now from G2. They saw the angles that Oxygen were taking to try and break their setups, and now they're playing around them, they're setting traps, and now they're 15 seconds away from taking round 2.
This has been far more comfortable for G2. 11 seconds is all that's required. Collect, goes down, rockets are up. Straight Sick picks them up, but he passes them straight over to the opposing team. 1 goes in and will connect to find a home onto Gilkey. Right down the breadbasket. Oxygen Esports have their work cut out for them in this round. If they're going to turn it around. Can they steady the ship? Boom. As the boombox. Fires 1, but unfortunately, it was not where he thought it was going to be, and Sabinator was front of the tram. And with 3 seconds remaining and nobody in position, G2 Esports restore parity. It's 1-1, and they are 1 round away from marching on, and Oxygen just a 1 single solo round away from elimination.
This is where it starts to get scary for Oxygen Esports. You're on the brink of elimination. Your tournament will be over. You'll just be watching from the stands. So it's now or never to step up. Collect is already doing everything as he can. And I'm not saying that everyone else on the roster is not doing their bit, because they are. But it's about finding that extra gear now. As Boam has the ball, they got 3 kills onto G2. They will be scoring in the early stages. It would do them wonders to get a map here. G2 maybe will start to worry a little bit if they are going to drop a map here against Oxygen. Gilkey, though, shuts down Triton. But 2 of his teammates have fallen, and suddenly this ball is in such a difficult place to try and grab. Because as soon as you walk into PD, you're so vulnerable to grenades.
Collect. What's he thinking? What's he got going on here? The Maniac. He's had G2 on strings for much of this game. Heavily outslaying them. 26 seconds the advantage here in round 3. They're a quarter of the way there. But can they hold on to it? Can they ensure G2 Esports stay behind them? Barcode will suffer the same fate as many of his teammates have before him at the hands of Collect. Grenades go back tower. Straight Sick sees that stalker rifle, hears it, feels it. The burn goes across the visor and he backs away. Triton, bottom middle. Straight Sick hits those shots. Trying to keep his teammates alive then. Bomex back tower, and you can see they're gonna see if they can evict him here. He's down to no shields, and all this is just him trying to stay alive and milk for as long as he can. It was successful. and getting an extra second or two of value out of that life just to keep the guns trained on him. Grenade blows up. Rockets have been scooped up in the hands of Triton. He's fired one and it's found a home. Ball scooped up. But just like that, beamed out of his hands. They were threatening to set up once more, but G2 ensure that's not going to be an eventuality right now.
There was like 3 one-shots on the side of Oxygen then, and somehow they all stayed alive. G2 just couldn't get those final bullets in, and if they had, I mean, they probably had a push, they probably had a setup. So great survivability from Oxygen. Collectors now surpassed 30 kills. When does it end? When does it stop? How far can Collect truly go? It really is a masterclass every single time he's on your screen with how he plays this game. But it could all amount to nothing if you end up falling 3-0 here and you're out of the tournament and we don't get to see you again. Still a lead though for Oxygen. G2 got to get their first chance at a setup now. Here's going to be a tower setup, and Gilkey does have Stalker Rifle and Bulldog.
How does he use them? What does he do with them? Holding down Cafe, but he's got a lot of members in front of him. He only gets a trade. Not the optimal strategy. And perhaps credit has to be given to Oxygen for making that play. 2 go down, 3 go down. G2 cut away at the numbers. Thin the herd. Player back tower with Bulldog and Drop Shield will be successful to get that kill. Barcode did not have the information that he needed. And things look to be going their way, but quickly Oxygen flipped the script. Sabonair with the fade away somehow gets the kill when he had no right to. Ball has stayed down on the statue bottom tower for a very long time, and perhaps that's about to change because of Triton's double kill. But it's 2v2 on the map now.
The power of numbers that we're seeing from Oxygen, how they just flooded over towards the Cafe side. G2 just didn't have an answer, despite the fact they had the Bulldog. You then give the Bulldog away, and because of it, Oxygen was just able to press up, use that number advantage. And now they may be able to get rockets. No, Barco right from under the nose grabs one. Triton will pick up the pieces and get one more rocket to use. But you can see the nerves in these players now. More so on Oxygen's side, it has to be said, as they sense this could be their elimination if they don't step up.
There be moments. This does not look like the kind of round that's going to get to 100 points, that much is for sure. But 1:17 on the clock, it has stopped for a moment, and Oxygen Esports scoop it up. Will they start to contemplate the idea of playing Slayer and running this clock down and keeping their tournament hopes alive? Because it's dwindling right now, they're fading. They need this round. Straightsick trying to get over to help his teammate in Sab, has done so, but the bait and switch that he is doing has been countered in another bait and switch from Oxygen Esports. Both these teams playing really good Halo at the moment. Kills being traded left and right. It's a 1v1 here and gets a Collect. You gamble on them all day.
Gilkey may have out-BR'd the best of players in that situation, but you're not going to out-BR Collect at the moment on this map. 37 kills for him now. He'd go into any fight believing he can win. A couple of weak members over towards Pink. Nemesis still alive. Barco needs to assist. Will assist. 2 versus 2. 35 seconds left. Boam trying to go for a flank. Straight Sync spots him out. Straight Sick, excuse me. A Straight Sync is a very different thing, Shurst.
Straight Sync is something I've seen a lot. Straight Sync, not so much. That's a Google search for later on. 42 seconds out of 24. 20 seconds on the clock. Rocket's about to pop up. This has to be perfect Halo for G2. Or they're in trouble, and Collect keeps on doing Collect things and getting kills. Triple kill for Collect. 41 kills for Collect. And with 6 seconds remaining, he ensures he keeps the foot in the throat and ensures Oxygen stay in this for at least one more game.
What a cracking performance that is from Collect. 42 kills. He didn't do it all on his own, but boy did he look good when he was on our screens. Every member of Oxygen needed to step up, and they did exactly that. Collect may have led the charge, but all 4 members on your screen there deserve to be in Game 4. And now suddenly the series is getting interesting. G2 will now have it in the back of their minds of, we were so close to a 3-0, so close to just cruising through to the top 8, but I tell you what, Oxygen, they're not going to go down without a fight here.
We've seen reverse sweeps already today. Could the seed be planted now? There's some doubt now. All of a sudden, it was so cool. It was all easy. It was all breezy. And just like that, Oxygen Esports didn't allow the mid-game and late game to get away from them like they did in game 1 and 2. So perhaps they're making some adjustments on the fly and recognizing when they're needing to press home their advantages. And when Collect's getting 40+ kills, if you can do that every game, you'll win most of them.
I mean, what can you do, right? If there's someone on the other team who is winning every single BR engagement that they get into, you don't want to push them.
No.
But then if you don't push one player, you're never going to be able to break a setup. Incredible, really, from Collect. And it's not the first time we've seen him do it. And it seems to be every single tournament we're talking about Collect. We're talking about just how well he manages to pull through in the darkest of times for his team. But can he do it again in Capture the Flag Aquarius?
Because it is one of those situations where, yes, Collect has had a game to remember, but you cannot keep relying on Collect to do that. At some point, the well is going to run dry. At some point, the rest of the teammates need to get the job done. They need to be the ones to step up. And in fairness, in that oddball game, they were all pulling in the right direction. But consistency is the key. It's the key to victory now. Reverse sweep is on the cards. They've already gotten the first step to achieving that. And for G2, with CTF Aquarius on the horizon, is this a game type that they can be favourable in?
I think we're going to learn a lot about G2 in this game 4. If G2 can kind of buck their ideas up a bit, have a comfortable victory here, 3-1 Oxygen, then I'm saying, okay, I still think G2 can get to top 6, can maybe even challenge top 4. However, if they just scrape through here, or if they allow this to go to a game 5, I'd be concerned about G2's chances if they were to progress after this series. So we will truly see now just what G2 have in their tank, and on the other side, how far can Oxygen go?
Can Oxygen take inspiration from Native Red? The underdogs have already had their day today. It's not out of the realms of possibility. Starting strategies so far, evenly matched. But just like that, G2 lose the numbers. They're cut away. 2v2 on the map now for a moment. Barcode's patrolling. He loves this map. He loves this game type. And this could be very much his playground. Collect the same. But you're looking towards your teammates now. You're looking for Gilkey to step up. You're looking for Sabinator to produce a little bit of magic. Straight Six already had some big moments in this series, but he's being called upon again to turn the tap on.
G2 just need to be finishing their kills. There were so many times in the previous game where Oxygen were able to get away on one shot. And that's not always, because of a lack of communication. Sometimes it's just bad luck. Sometimes it's just too many angles for Oxygen to hide behind. But here on Aquarius, these guys, they know how to navigate it now. They know how to find these players that are trying to escape. You can double bluff them. You can go a different route and suddenly they walk straight into you. So just don't allow Oxygen to run you around the ringers here. Don't allow them to escape so easily.
3 dead. This is the moment. Bohm has the heat wave. That could be the great equalizer. Gets shut down. Map control now for G2. Can they exploit the pockets of space they need to secure a flag capture? Nemesis goes down once more. There's a chance. Camouflage is about to pop up. Nobody in position just yet to pick it up though. Triton goes down. Barcode is that man to step forward for the camouflage that's just popped up. He was a little bit too early to the dance. Music hadn't been playing just yet. Gilkey down towards the shroom stairs, and Nemesis clears out the riffraff. But it's all 3 members of Oxygen pegged back here. Collect the furthest man forward in the gen. And they're all starting to push out in the same direction. But if they lose these slays here, it could be detrimental to the cause. Triton has managed to step out just a touch. Sabinator's bringing this one back the way. Trying to avoid angles. Does so successfully. Tries to juggle the flag, but a slight mistake there, a slight misstep. And you cannot make plays like that in games like this.
Thankfully, his teammates kind of covering his backside. Quite literally covering his backside. 3 are dead. This is going to be the first cap. G2 will put it in. And that, even though it was a little bit of a fumble, still a very effective run. You clear out 3, you get the flag, you kill 3 off spawn. And as long as there's only 1 player remaining, as long as you know where he is and he's not flanking round, then it should always be a successful flag run.
Is that enough now to settle the nerves of these G2 players? Doesn't appear to be an opportunity for a counter cap situation either. Collect again towards the shroom stairs in a 1v1. And you can see he did not want to back away from that fight. Both players gave each other the respect that they command. Sabinator slides out, thruster pack utilized, but can he get away? Can he make it a difficult kill? Yes, he can. 3 dead. Make it 4 dead for Oxygen. And G2 now are going through the gears.
Once again, they push into the base, but they know they don't need to grab it yet because the player's going to be spawning. First player gets found, first player gets killed. He did a lot of damage though, did Nemesis. Fair play to him. And actually may have done enough to stop this flag from moving, so huge plays from him to not just get the kill, but also emit a lot of damage onto the other side. Barcode trying to be a sneaky beaver, or a sneaky kangaroo, should I say.
He's bouncing around the map. Springing a step. Slides over towards the Needler. Trying to get over to his teammates here. There won't be one with Collect. But I'll tell you something, Collect doesn't do that very often. He whiffed the punch. Barcode ducked under it, landed a haymaker of his own. A little bit of counter boxing, a little bit of MMA. Gilkey down to no shields. Heatwave frying, as it so often does. And over towards the Needler side. Boemex trying to get the last few ticks of this return. Making this a really difficult task. G2 are not willing to give up on this one when they probably should have a long time ago. 3 dead. And now an opportunity for Oxygen Esports to put one on the board and tie up this game. Have G2 now just handed over the impetus to this Oxygen Esports team, and that's perhaps all they need here. There's a little bit of confidence. Barcode gets one though. Collect gets a trade. Flag gets sent home, but it's not the right flag in your G2's opinion. Boemex gets the touch. Gilkey tries to close the distance. Triton steps out. Cover. Can he do so? Yes, he can. He slams it in. We're all tied up.
And if that grenade had gone where Gilkey wanted it to go, it could have been very different. Not always easy to get the perfect grenade. Collect and Boan, the last 2 remaining players, will get the kills. Barcode now the last on his side. And at 1-1 again, Oxygen showing their worth here in this series, showing that they are going to fight every single time to get back into the game. I've seen so many teams, so many lower seeded teams, after going 1-0 down in a kind of game 3 or game 4, just kind of give up and accept what's going to happen. Oxygen refuse to accept their fate. Oxygen want to make their own destiny here. They want to get into that top 8. They want to be in that conversation for those higher places in this tournament.
Showing grit and determination. We knew it was going to be a difficult task for G2. And there's no doubt Oxygen were the underdogs. Triple kill for Barcode. Hold on a second. Where did that come from? As he pops the camouflage into his chest. Playing a little bit of defense for a moment, slowing things down. Trying to get sneaky. Has he been successful? Has tabs on Barcode, or on Boemex, excuse me. Perfect kill, 4 shots. But using the camouflage to play defense rather than offense. Straight Tick's got a kill where he needs to though. Flag thrown at the front base. Not gonna be much camouflage left now for Barcode to have an influence that he would like. 2 dead for G2.
They just need to learn their lesson here as well. Leave this flag. Don't get too desperate for it. That's what they did for Oxygen's cap, is G2 were trying to really push the agenda of we can get this flag back. And because of it, they suffered. It's about running those flags effectively. Sure, you can toss it out every now and then just as a distraction technique, but that doesn't mean you have to commit to it.
Sabinator pulls the flag. He was being a tricky customer. Put a couple of shots down, looked as though he was going to back away, and Nemesis took the bait by throwing that grenade, and he stepped back out to put some more shots down. Ultimately though, he was cut away before he could do any real damage, before he could get any yards down with the flag. Oxygen continue to go hard in the paint here. Continue to make this a difficult task. They're not going away easily now. And it looked as though in the start of the series, when they went 2 down, they were going to go gentle into that good night. Not today. Not right now, at least. Sabinator gets the pull, tries to bring it over towards the fridge side. It's not something we see very often. And he has gone down. Triton gets a kill. 3 dead for G2. Only for now, though. They're almost back to a full complement of players. And as I say that, of course, 1 more goes down, keeping themselves on staggered spawns. But this one's nervy, Dan. This one's cagey. They know with 4 minutes left, next flag cap ultimately could be the winner.
And whilst it looked like these 2 teams were maybe a class apart in games 1 and 2, That very much changed going into game 3 and 4. And I can't stress it enough just how a series layout can affect things for these teams and how much better and how much worse you can be on certain game types. It's so difficult to be good at every map and mode with a pool this big. Even the best teams struggle with certain game types because they don't practice them as often or don't feel the need to practice them. And sometimes if you don't practice that much but another team does, they're going to be better. G2, all 4 dead. Oxygen running another flag. Gilkey, the first point in defense, has to back away.
Are they guilty of letting this game slip through the cracks? Because Oxygen Esports have started to crank the pressure. And if this flag gets punched in, we could be going to a game 5 here, folks. 2-1 the score, 3 minutes remaining. And it's very much been one-way traffic over this halfway point. Oxygen Esports roar back into life. Trade once more. Sabinator and Triton both ultimately fall. Barcode tries to pull the flag. They're going to move it towards the fridge side again. Collect is in a position to intercept. Barcode can't have eyes in the back of his head and has to go down again. And every single time we've seen G2 pull a flag, get it towards the halfway point, they're desperate at it time and time again. And they're really starting to pay the price now.
So guilty of trying to force these flags at G2, and I think they're aware of it. But now, with only 2 minutes left, you do get to those desperate moments. You do try and force those flags just to try and kickstart some sort of comeback in this game. As for Oxygen, it's a matter of you can play defense at this point. You can hold on to your advantage. It's not easy to do on Aquarius, because if you commit too much to turtling up, you do leave yourselves vulnerable. But the Slays are going in their favor. So it's not like they're on the back foot and they're somehow winning this game. No, they look like they deserve to be winning this game.
Oxygen are not interested in holding on to what they have. They want more. Gilkey picked up the camo. Did he get the burn, though? That's going to be the question. The answer very quickly is given to us. No, Collect has it. And he has everything he needs to close out this game and ensure they keep that 1 cap advantage. Straight Sick getting tagged up by the Commando. Beautiful shots from Collect as he looks to drag his team forward to a game 5 Slayer. Sizzle Stick, though, will spot him out for a moment. They have information of the player there, and he steps out too far. Barcode handles him. But as we head towards the final minute of this flag game, is the destiny already decided? Is this a game 5, or do G2 have something left in the tank? Barcode's in the right position, but does he have the right support? Triton will get handled. Killing spree for Barcode now. He's waiting for kills to go his team's favor, and they have 3 dead. Can he win this 1v1 against Nemesis? He has help, and he has flags on the move.
4 dead on the side of Oxygen, and G2 in the final moments. If they can get round this corner, surely can get far enough to tie up this game. Oh, it's a fumble from Sab. Have G2 thrown this opportunity away? Grenades come through, so do the bullets. You gotta slide this one home just about, and it's 2-2. We're all tied up.
20 seconds remain. Bomex walks towards the wall, and that can only spell misery for us as he lags out of the game. But it matters not, perhaps, as we were going to overtime anyway. It was going to be next cap wins. So if you're going to lag out, perhaps that's the best possible time for it to happen. But might that be just what G2 needed? Because the game was very much going against them for large portions, and Oxygen Esports opened the door at the final moment.
Oxygen had that game.
Yeah.
Right, Oxygen were there. Oxygen were into game 5. And then Barcode decides, well, you know what? Collect's been maybe stealing the headlines of this series a little bit. And suddenly Barcode's upping 28 to 30 kills himself, wanders into the base, gets a flagpole, does so much damage onto that final player. G2 almost threw it away with a couple of fumbles. That's not the first time we've seen G2 fumble a flag in this series as well. But it means, yeah, we go to overtime, we get a replay, whatever. It doesn't matter at this point. It was 2-2. So there would usually be 5 minutes of overtime, but now we might get replay. Who cares? But an exciting series. You got to admit, everyone, like, this is maybe quite exciting for us because you look at this series on paper and you think, is this just going to be another one of those 3-0s? Is this going to be Oxygen just kind of getting as far as they can? But no, Oxygen are showing that they deserve a spot in the top 8.
We'll come back to elimination bracket round 1. It was G2, not G1. We did just see them lose on the main stage. That's going to be heartbreaking for them boys, but big ups to Fnatic. But back over here, G2 up against Oxygen. Last we seen was Game 4 CTF on Aquarius. Score was currently sitting at 2-2. And we're getting a full replay, Dan, after a player lagged out. There's a couple of technical hiccups, but we've got it all ironed out, and we've got more Halo to cast.
Yep, another game of Aquarius Capture the Flag. It is Game 4. As a reminder, the series score was 2-1 in favor of G2. There it is, production right on point as always. Crazy stuff happening all around. We've had Game 5s left, right, and center. We've had upsets. Are we going to see another Game 5? Are we going to see another underdog show what they're made of here in the elimination bracket? We're going to find out now. It's G2 versus Oxygen. A full 12 minutes of Aquarius Capture the Flag. Let's see what happens.
Give me another Game 5. Yes, please. I'll subscribe to that. Gilkey gets a kill. 2 go down, though. Gilkey actually got an assist. Excuse me. But Sab got the finishing touches on that one. Here's Collect with the camouflage. Can he put the starting touches on a flag, grab, and indeed a capture? 2 players go down, make it 3. Barcode and Straight Sick down. Nemesis Bohm and Triton were down for a moment. Sab has a touch on the flag. Camouflage will be enough to stop that one. Playing defense with the camo here. Starts to get the touch, but opts to move away. Flag safe enough for now. Gilkey bottom middle over towards the P side. Not for any longer though. And you just know there's going to be nervy moments here. The long wait to get this game back up and underway. And who's going to be the team grab this one by the scruff of its neck to seize the moment? Will it be Collect and the boys on Oxygen, who will put in one hell of a performance? Or will it be G2 to get to where they think they belong? And the bare minimum requirement. Reminder, this one's for top 8. Sab goes down. Nemesis tries to get the flag moving. Tries. But he fails. 3 dead. Barcode clambering. Gets a few touches on the return. Ticks it up a little bit. Triton in a 1v1. Barcode will come out on top. Sizzle Stick will not do the damage required to put Barcode in the respawn screen. There'll be no trades.
And this is going to be a marathon, not a sprint. We saw that in the previous game between these 2 guys on this map. Like a last-minute capture, you know, in the final moments, the final seconds. It demonstrated that you can get back into this game even if you are behind. So you don't want to be too hasty with your pushes. You don't want to give it maybe too many opportunities away to your opposition. But at the same time, you can afford to take a risk here or there. Triton unfortunately cannot stay alive with the camouflage, and Oxygen are going to lose 3 players because of it, and now G2 will look to take control of this map.
Important for G2 to shut Triton down. Camouflage and Heatwave can be a deadly combo in anyone's hand, particularly these 8 players in this lobby. Perfect kill. Barcode, a little bit of 007 action. It's not James Bond, it's James Barcode. Up the stairs, clambers around. Grenade will clear him out though. For the moment, it's back and forth. 3 dead here, 3 dead across the way. Nobody getting their hands on the flag for any meaningful amount of time. Nobody able to get it over the halfway point or threatening the flag cap just yet. It's cagey, it's nervy. Who can blame them?
For the record, I'd be totally behind a James Bond with Barcode playing James Bond. I think it would sell like crazy. And maybe it's something the G2 social team need to be now creating a graphic of. They're very good at doing that,
Yeah.
by the way. But as we speak, Gilkey somehow gets a double kill to stop Oxygen running the flag. Nemesis and Boam working in collaboration just to try and get as far as possible. Maybe Gilkey's done enough to delay here. Boam knows he can't just simply toss this one in. He has to fight. He takes it with Sab. He loses. Flag gets chucked out. 3 are now dead for Oxygen. And all off the back of 2 kills from Gilkey, that flag is negated.
There's Barcode on the move. GoldenEye, Miss Moneypenny. None of those characters matter. 007 slides it in. As cool as you like. Puts them 1-0 to the good. And perhaps firmly in the driver's seat now. 8 minutes on the clock. Camouflage scooped up. It's back-to-back camos for Oxygen, but both have been cut down without getting any value. 3 dead for Oxygen Esports. And is the writing on the wall now? RG2 starting to heat up. The heat wave will help.
Triton was last remaining player. Collect now is up. And if Collect's up, you know you've got a chance if you're Oxygen. If you are just joining us because you've been watching the main stage action, you've just watched Fnatic take down G1, well, Collect has been going off in this series. He had 40+ kills over on Streets. Can he get anywhere near that in Aquarius capture the flag? Because they might need it. They're one flag down still. 7 minutes 20 on the clock. G2 are being patient. Barcode again trying to be a sneaky beaver. Gets the back smack, gets the reversal.
The last thing Oxygen need here is to go down 2. It happened to them already. And they managed to bring it back. They were down 2 in the series. And they hung on in there. Flag on the move, 3 dead again. It's consistent 3 deads for Oxygen Esports. For the last few seconds, they've been going through cycles. G2 Esports, they've been pedaling this bike, trying to pedal themselves to victory.
So much patience there from Barcode as well. So many players would have just dropped on that flag and tried to keep it going, but he knew he was in a position to do some damage. Will it pay off though? It doesn't look like it, because it looks like G2 have lost too many players, so this flag suddenly becomes really unachievable. One thing G2 were guilty of in the previous game was trying to overextend for these flags, trying to force them. So it's about knowing when to hold them, knowing when to fold them. Sab gets a touch, but at what cost? Gilkey dives on in, but at what cost? He's dead. Who else is going to send themselves into their grave?
Desperation again. And this was what opened the door for Oxygen to get a cap the first time we played this map. Sabinator's going to dive out, going to do some damage. Barcode has to put the finishing touches on it, but he's weaker for the next fight. Back and forth they go. Bomex couldn't tell whether he wanted to get out of there or stay, stick or twist. Ultimately, the decision was made for him. Straight stick put him away. But Triton's behind enemy lines. Collect is coming now. Maybe put down some shots for him. Sabinator. Goodbye, fella. Barcode down to no shield as well, but somehow manages to evade the attentions for now. Gilkey will keep him alive. Nemesis has the flag on the move. Gilkey's in not a perfect position, but an okay position for now. But he's getting tagged up in the back. That's going to make this one difficult. Are they going to have to give this one up? And have they open the door once more? This is as easy as you like for Nemesis to slide in and tie us up once more.
And again, kind of off the back of getting a little bit too desperate for the flag that was down there. And really not much to separate these two teams here in game number 4. Collect 17 kills in the moment. Barcode also leading the charge alongside Gilkey. 2 players getting drilled over towards the lightning grenades, the dynamo grenades, the sizzle sticks. Doesn't matter what you call them at this point.
Oh, okay.
And maybe Triton just trying to get in the heads of G2.
Will it be a success or failure? Who will have the last laugh? We won't have to wait long to find out, I tell you. Flag pulled. 2 down for Oxygen. 2 down for G2. Triton over towards the lockers here and over towards the engine. Shots go down. Players back away. Numbers advantage now for G2 to move this flag. And move it they do. It's on the roll. There can be no more fumbles like we've seen in the first game. Hasn't taken any damage, but he has lost 2 teammates. But they have done enough to quell the stop, to quell the push. And G2 retake the lead in this game. 2-1 in the game, 2-1 in the series.
And this time G2 have the lead, right? G2 are in the position where maybe they can hold on for 4 more minutes. It was the other way round in the previous game. Oxygen had the lead, and G2 got that last minute cap. Do Oxygen have what it takes to stay alive in this tournament? Remember, if they lose this, they go home. They finish in top 12. Which, don't get me wrong, top 12 in the world is still an incredible placement for these players. Especially if you consider what they've been through this season. But I believe, and they believe, they have more. And we've got to see that in these next 3 minutes and 30 seconds. 2 down now on the side of G2. Oxygen trying to get aggressive. Collect leading the charge. Runs out of camo, still stays alive. Dodges past the sizzles. But unfortunately, every single time Oxygen do push in, they lose too many members right now.
Here's Collect the commando. It's a trade, and a big trade from Sab to ensure Collect follows him to the respawn screen, to the grave. Both of them will be jumping on Karen's boat to the underworld for 7 seconds or so anyway. And every single kill that G2 get now will limit the opportunities, limit the chances of Oxygen Esports getting themselves back into this one. And Barcode gets a double kill, and he could be doing some more damage, but Nemesis shuts him down with the pistol. But they have their hands on the flag, do G2. Sizzle's going down, tanking up the shields. Damage being done. 2:40 on the clock then. Do Oxygen have One last hurrah. Do they have the stamina to push this game the distance?
Nemesis was just the last player alive and just manages to stop that flag almost single-handedly. Big thanks to the Sizzle Sticks. There is going to be a touch there, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And again, are G2 going to learn their lesson here? Sure, they're ahead, so they can desperate it. They can try and delay. Doesn't matter anymore. There is the return. Trade comes out from Sab, and it's 2 minutes left. Oxygen, what is left in the tank? Collect with 23, Nemesis 21. Both these players have stepped up in this game. They just need to get that kind of 3 or 4 dead, you feel. Every single time they've pushed in, it's kind of been a trade 2 for 2 or 2 for 3. If they can keep everyone alive, they get 3 dead, get that perfect flag on the move, they can get back into this game.
And G2 have given opportunities. Every time they pull that flag, they keep piling corpses on top of it, trying to desperate it all the way home, and perhaps now an opportunity. 2 dead for G2. Camouflage, 1 more kill. Whoa. In the books. Sabinator looking for the camo, and he gets the pick. And how big will that one be?
Collect pushing his luck there. Had a teammate behind him, did not need to be that brave. And because of it, it probably stops the opportunity of a flag run here for Oxygen. Gilkey gets aggressive, uses thrust, wants to get in the face of his opponents, and now he can bank grenades as well. And the flag goes back, and for all the talk I've said about how amazing Collect's been, the incredible plays, it also shows that sometimes even the best of players can make mistakes in these big moments.
He's been playing lights out. And is that going to be the kind of mistake that haunts him for as many kills he's put on the board? Will it be that one moment that he wishes, he begs and he prays he had back? Will he be living with regret here, because with only 40 seconds or so left, and Gilkey with the heat wave frying, 2 dead now. Nemesis, all 4 dead for G2. This is the last chance, the last hurrah, the last moment. It has to be perfect, because if not, they'll have no more time.
G2, they're trying to go for the overextension round on the car side. On the P side, excuse me. Whereas Nemesis is going to be running this over towards the Sizzles, over on that car side. 3 are dead for G2. And just like what we saw in the previous game, are we going to see a last-minute cap?
Oh, it's the moment!
Barco? No, Barco goes down.
Big moment for Nemesis. With only 8 seconds remaining, they're gonna slam this one in. We're gonna get tied up once more, 2-2, and this time we will be going to overtime. Next cap wins.
Sudden death.
Nemesis with the heat wave. Descends on the flag.
Return.
Has to give it up. Overtime now then. Who's got the bottle? Who's got the metal? We're gonna find out now. Will this be Oxygen's last 5 minutes of Halo Infinite this season? Or can they push us on one further?
Almost poetic that we find ourselves in exactly the same position we would have before the restart. Overtime between these two teams, neither of them able to separate themselves. Both teams throwing away a lead in the final 30 seconds. And Collect are maybe wiping the sweat off his brow a little bit after that small error that could have cost his team the game, but they fight back. And now in overtime, it's about, as you say, who can really button up, who can buckle up, as it's going to be a trade between the two Bs.
G2 just like a bouncer on a night out, trying to usher Oxygen Esports out the door. But they are clinging onto the door frame. They are not making this one easy. They're not going down without a fight. They're going to die on their sword and shield. If they're going to go out, it'll be down swinging. And Gilkey will catch BoMX with his back turned to him. Almost takes down Triton too. This one's nervy.
Nice shots from Barcode. If he can control top middle here, if he can stop this push from P, this is a real opportunity at a flag cap. It's 4 versus 3. Barcode doesn't get that first kill though, so now Oxygen have a real chance to really drill some shots. And that should stem this flag run, and it does, and it's such a shame because it was a real opportunity there for G2.
Flag return.
Perhaps on the flip side, that opportunity now arises for Oxygen. They have lost a member, but he's going to spawn up quicker than Gilkey is. But it's a flag standoff. And we're seeing Triton put some shots down for Collect, keeping him alive, taking down Sab, but he falls eventually. Here comes Gilkey, here comes the pain. Camouflage has popped up. Gilkey's going to prioritize getting the return. That's the right call. The right play is being made here.
Flag return.
And all of a sudden it's G2 in the ascendancy once more. This flag game is going back and forth. Opportunities for each team. And it's going to be Sabinator to scoop up that camouflage. And he could have the game in his hands.
You can sense the nervousness in these players just by watching their screens, watching the angles they're taking, how cautious they're being at times. Sab has the camo. Knows he doesn't want to do too much here because he's the last remaining player. Has to get the kill, does not. And Oxygen now can run this flag. Barcode's going to do so much.
He's got his work cut out from here. And he's not going to be able to do enough. Didn't decide the sticker twist. Couldn't stay or go. Gilkey has the heat wave. Has to do some damage. There's more being asked of him than needs be. And he also fumbles at his moment. And all the pieces are falling in the right direction for Oxygen Esports here. Heat wave fell into their hands because of Gilkey, and they're using it. And we could be about to go to a game 5 here, but a kill has gone in their favor. But G2 fall. They fumble. Flag touch is there. G2 are not in a position to get the stop. And we're going to another game 5.
How on earth have Oxygen just been able to do that? Man after man, player after player. G2 sent everything in. Gilkey had the heat wave, was in the closet. And he could have just sat around the corner. He could have waited, but he almost got too aggressive. I think G2 are going to be kicking themselves a little bit on that one, but I mean, what a bloody game it was. It was one for the neutral, let's be honest.
I mean, in that flag game, they're stacking bodies on top of each other, trying to get that flag jab. We spoke about it, trying to force it home every single time. And Oxygen just had the answers for it, and perhaps they didn't even have to have answers. It was as simple as shoot the guy who stands on the hill or stands on the flag every single time. It was too easy at times.
It's one of those when you look back at it and you look back at what you could have done, it's hindsight, like every single time. But I will say that Oxygen gave it absolutely everything there. 2-1 down, 30 seconds left, and they clutch up, they take it to overtime. Another Game 5 here at the World Championships. It could be another reverse sweep from a lower seeded team.
Oxygen Esports have the sweeping brush out. And are they about to sweep up on Livefire? Can G2 settle the nerves? It was comfortable, it seemed, in the series when they went 2-0 up. There seemed to be no doubt. And then in that oddball game, we spoke about how perhaps the seed had been planted of doubt. Perhaps there is that hangover from the Sentinel series. And is this the moment for Oxygen Esports to prove they belong in that top 8 conversation? It wasn't a fluke. The runs that they've been made, the hellacious run they were on. Is it to come to an end now? Or can they push on? We're gonna find out here and now on Livefire. 3 dead, immediately go G2. But they get 2. Sniper rifle top middle. Overshield about to pop up. This one's tasty already.
We've already seen 1 G eliminated on Livefire Slayer. Could we see a second G of G2 eliminated here by Oxygen Esports? Will they join Fnatic in the next round of the elimination bracket? 4-4 already. Kills traded out left, right and center. Nice shots though from Barcode. Will secure him the overshield.
Now G2, what are you made of? When you're put to the test. When you're put in some rough situations. Dragged out of the deep water. It's time to sink or swim. Because Oxygen Esports have been putting you to the test, and in 2 games have put you to the sword. How do you respond? Oxygen take the lead, and this overshield that Barcode seems to have had for an eternity has not been getting the value he would have liked. He gets 1 kill, he stays alive. But they're not pushing the pressure, they're not dictating the pace. It's nervy here.
Wow.
Barcode does find 1. Can he find a second? The answer's no, he's shut down. There's trades here and there. 9-8 the score.
How important could that kill be though on Collect? Getting rid of that sniper rifle, not allowing Collect to do Collect things. Because if Collect starts to heat up here, it could spell the end for G2. It's Barcode, though, who's got the sniper rifle. It's Barcode who has the opportunity to heat up. He's ran out of ammo now, so instead, he joins the team in an aggressive push.
It's Barcode who had the goodies. That's all well and good, but what comes along with that is responsibility and expectations. Collect with the overshield, gets sent to the back wall, stays alive long enough to get 1 kill. G2 have a 2-kill advantage. They desperately want more. And they're gonna need it because they've found themselves with advantages in this series already. But every single time they think they're comfortable, they think they're dry. Oxygen get right back into things. 3 kills now. Gilkey makes it 4. Getting tagged up from top sandbags. Barcode steps out, puts shots into Triton. It's very important now. You do not give away any more easy deaths.
Barcode still desperately trying to switch to that sniper rifle, and every time he gets the same answer. There's no ammo, bud. He falls quickly to the floor. New sniper is going to be spawning now, though, so I'm sure that both Collect and Barcode are going to have their eyes deeply set on it. It's Oxygen who get the kills, though. Oxygen maybe with the first opportunity to pick up that sniper rifle.
A window of opportunity. What can they do? Triton, desperately trying to stay alive. Tucking his head away. Ultimately, it wasn't bullets that got the damage. It was a grenade. A well-placed one at that. Sabinator throws a grenade towards Cuts. Scoops up the sniper rifle, completely uncontested. Will drop the shield behind him. Shield wall will do the damage. Sniper rifle will do the damage. Pops the shields. Gets 1. Drops though. 2 kills now. This one couldn't be any closer as we head to the midway point. And for G2, who seem to be cruising in this series, what are the comms like? Let's have an Astro listen in.
What's that Keto? No here.
There's 2 Keto.
I traded.
Platform cuts, guys.
Good one.
Keto. 2 dead.
Nice. Two blast OS. Yeah, we still up.
I'm gonna try get an icon into this guy, cuts, bro.
Live.
We're gonna boss.
They're gonna have it.
I'm dead. Sniper cut. He didn't even pop it yet. He didn't even
Alright,
pop
they're gonna make a play with this.
Yeah.
Play
They're
together, guys.
spiking us
They're
from
spiking me big door, bro.
Hunting AR. They're gonna fly with this.
Top middle sniping,
Yeah,
collect.
it's
I'm absolute here. I'm
OS
absolute.
here soon.
He sniped me, bro. Sitting
Oh, watch out. Oh my god. I'm getting it.
We're good. OS from here. Tight.
Just holding.
Yeah, hold.
Down north. Yeah, that's one day again.
And we're all together. They haven't moved much then.
Do we know if they popped it? They might be holding.
Might be able to go through together.
Nemesis might be holding it. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? What do you guys want to do? You guys want to try and make a play, or do you?
I think
What's
we
shooting
can
at
start.
Bridge?
We kind of can.
Yeah, that's true.
They still probably
Yeah, they're probably just holding it, dude, and getting ready for a push.
That's Bridge still one just sitting there, bone.
You don't know where Sniper's at? Watch out for Sniper. He's gonna keep trying to get picks.
Let's go back.
Standoff then. Nothing doing. You can hear them stressing that Collect had sniper rifle top middle, and still he managed to thread the needle and find the face of Barcode. 2-kill advantage right now. And he cut the tension with a knife.
It's how they said, do you want to make a play? I didn't hear anyone say yes. You're 2 kills behind, boys. Someone's going to have to make a play at some point. That timer is going to slowly but surely tick away. Still plenty of time on the clock, though. 6 minutes is there. And G2 still pinned back by Oxygen. Oxygen desperately trying to cling on to this lead, trying to cling on to their tournament life. But of course, it's not only them fighting for their tournament lives now. G2 also doing the same.
Oxygen hold all the cards for the moment. They have a sniper rifle. You can see the outlines of Collect sitting top tower. And he has his eyes trained over towards that overshield. And it's going to be Oxygen who make the moves. It's going to be Oxygen who make the plays. They're getting brave now. And they're descending onto G2. They're making the waves. The heat waves to be exact. Here's Boam. Misses that first shot, but does manage to get the trade. This next overshield could be huge. Barcode's going to be the one to make the move. He can't pop into his chest, nor can Gilkey. Double kill for Triton. Overshield for Triton. 5 kills for Oxygen, and G2 are in trouble.
That could be the big swing in this game. Because not only are they 5 ahead now, it could very easily turn into more. Because Overshield plus Heatwave usually results in damage. 2 are dead, make it 3. I tell you what, there could be 4, but just about. Sab holds on, but how much longer? Not much longer. It's now an 8-kill game.
And now Collect has the snipe. It's been in his hands for a very, very long time, and they know it. Do G2. He's rotated off top tower. And over towards Big Door, trying to download as much information as he can. Can't see a single player. He knows that lane is completely empty now. And the rest of his team are fighting over towards dummies, and perhaps Collect is going to have to get there too. You can see he has also made moves over towards that sandbags area, over towards that back garage area, perhaps peeking out the window. Peering through the curtains. Any riffraff out there? Any trouble on my road?
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
But wow, what a game from Oxygen Esports right now. They can almost taste the next round. The reverse sweep is very much on the horizon for them. For G2, you can imagine it's just panic now. Such a horrible feeling as a player when you know how close you were to winning this series to now how close you are to throwing it away. G2 have to make the plays. Gilkey trying to do some damage with the grenade, trying to be the one to lead the charge, but he just ends up going down. A trade is going to be there on the other side. Collect now getting into a position to try and have a fight. 2 members from Oxygen fall, and this is G2's best opportunity to get back into the game now.
G2's heart racing. Overshield is up. And our Oxygen about to sink G2. Barcode has the overshield. It's not over yet. They've gotten 3 kills in quick succession. They've closed the gap. And now all of a sudden, it's going to be Oxygen Esports who are on the back foot. It's going to be them retreating. Assault rifle out. Bomex has the sniper rifle, opting not to find the shots. Couldn't connect onto Barcode, who scoops up the sniper rifle. But Oxygen Esports still hold a 3-kill advantage.
Well, Barcode, this is what you came to North America for. These moments. You have the sniper rifle, you're on your team, and you have the chance to win the game. 2 bullets. Could really make a difference here. It could create an opening for your side. And then suddenly that could propel you into a lead. He's desperately trying to find an angle. There is the angle. No one shows just yet. Does connect with the first. Can't quite clean up though. And unfortunately that means that 42 kills now on the board for Oxygen. A 4-kill difference. G2 needs something big here. They need a big swing back in their favor.
And perhaps it's going to come through Gilkey, who picked up 2, but unfortunately he gets taken down. 3 kills remain the difference. Triton gets eliminated. Sniper rifles down as well. Gilkey's passed that information over. But Barcode's desperately just trying to stay alive now. Has a teammate bottom middle, getting tagged up. And it's just about holding your nerve now. There's 2 minutes and 20 on the clock. This next overshield is massive. Whoever wins this overshield has every opportunity of winning this game. And we're about to get that conclusion right here, right now. Nemesis steps out, Triton steps out, and they've done damage to Barcode. It hasn't forced him to back up, but he's not as healthy as he could have been. No kills just yet. Both teams trying to feed information. Collect's got a pick, and somehow, someway almost got away. Overshield has been scooped up. Triton's got it.
Oh no.
3 kills, 4 kills the difference now. And Oxygen Esports have G2 on the ropes.
Panic starting to set in for G2. The heat wave, I think, went into the other player on your own team. 48 to 42. Oxygen 2 kills away from the reverse sweep, from the upset, from sending G2 home.
They have sniper rifle, they have heat wave, they have one more pick. Is all they require here. Who's gonna get it? Triton fires one but misses. They only need one. They're moving together to make sure they have the highest possibility of trading out, and they get one. And who else will be the man to put the finishing touches on that series? Collect. Oxygen Esports complete the reverse sweep.
I mean, we said it might happen, but we never genuinely thought it was going to happen. Oxygen do the unthinkable from 2-0 down. It's a reverse sweep, and they send G2 home. That's G1 eliminated in elimination round 1. That's G2 also going home at top 12. Oxygen and Fnatic find themselves in the top 8. Wow.
And what a time to do it. You've had your trials and tribulations all season long. Fnatic, I've been a critic of them all season long. They've made changes that never seem to work. Now they're both in this top 8 conversation, and to do it, the biggest tournament of them all, with the biggest prize pool at the Halo World Championship, here in Seattle. What a moment for these two teams.
I mean, it was so easy to count Oxygen out there when they're 2-0 down. Like, after that second game, they looked a clear second best. And we joked. I said, it's a series layout. They are pretty good at this game 3. It might happen. I didn't genuinely think it was going to. Honestly, I thought G2 would get over that final hurdle. But I will put my hands up and admit, I was happy to see Oxygen fight back, show dedication, show that they genuinely believe they could get back into that series. Collect went off. He wasn't the only one. Like, everyone played a part, obviously, from Oxygen. But what an incredible series. Another absolute banger here at the Halo World Championship of 22. As for G2, commiserations, of course. It's been a very up and down season for them. But in the end, they have to bow out at top 12.
Misery for G2. But joy unconfined for the boys in Oxygen Esports, who complete the reverse sweep. What a run that was. Every game, that Aquarius CTF was down to the wire, could have gone either way. But what does it mean for the bracket? Who do Oxygen Esports now match up against next? And it's going to be Fnatic, two teams who find themselves in a situation in Dreamland